KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. I'm Mark Westwood with Eric Asarios at the control, at the stern, at the wheel, so to speak. Also have my good friend Lillian Vasquez and news producer here in KCAA land. And also my good friend down the table here, Donald Williamson, Taxpayer, Saver, and More. Because this is the Donald Williamson Taxpayer, Saver, More show. Hello, Donald.
Hi, Mark, and hello to all you radio listeners out there listening to us. We talked last time, Mark.
Let me just have Miss Weber stand by real quick. We're going to have Brandy Weber from the Boys and Girls Club of Redlands Riverside today. And yes, Don.
Okay. Anyway, last week we talked a little bit about mobile homes because I've told you before, you're one of the very few people that I know that knows as much about them as you do. You're way up there on the ladder. And we had the supervisor from Riverside County that had called in and gave us information and on the mobile homes exemption for people that were on the property tax system as well as those who are on the DMV, what I call the DMV system on fees. And there was something I wanted to bring up, and that is if they're a disabled veteran, 100%, and maybe there's one program where they don't have to be 100%. If they're 100%, where they can't have a job, can't work at anything. So the other two are 100% as far as, and that's put out by the Veterans Administration, by the way. So if they're that, they may not have to pay those DMV fees. That's something
There's always
check
exceptions.
On.
There's always exceptions.
I was going to check on that, but I couldn't get a hold of the person. They could
confirm
that, whether I'm right or not. Also,
and it really does depend also on the mobile home ordinance city by city, because there's some things that are statewide, and some things like that may be the city that does that, or the municipality.
That's all state. These are all revenue and taxation codes.
Okay.
And as a consultant, I may, to the BOE, I may also call them to get confirmation as well. And and the other had to do with, I talked about the homeowners exemption we did and I got to thinking, if a person has built a garage, even though a lot of them may not be allowed in a mobile home park, but those that may, if they've added a garage, even though they were on the DMV fees or in lieu fees, that might be taxable by the property tax system. And if so, that homeowner's exemption would probably wipe most of it out.
It depends if the garage was attached to the unit when it was purchased and put in place, or whether
both.
they built it on afterwards. If they built it on afterwards, there is going to be an additional property tax.
That's what
but
I'm talking about.
if it's not, if it was attached, because there's triple wide mobile homes, they're taxed differently. And if there's a triple wide, they make a triple wide with a garage attached. Some of those are like in Redlands. They have a mobile home park in Redlands that has a garage like that on that. And Eric, I'm hearing kind of a little tone in my headphones. I don't know. No, maybe the mic's open under there. I hate to do that on there. Yeah, okay. So, all right. Anyway, nobody heard the other side of Eric's because he kept pressing the intercom inside. So, anyway, I was just going to talk to you on the air about it. It's not that bad, but there is a tone. Okay. Anyway,
I just wanted to bring that up, and by next week, I should have confirmed that, and we'll talk more about that.
Okay. Very, very good. Do you have any tax saving tips that you'd like to share with us before we get into it?
Well, I don't know if I ever brought up the one, and I might have, for churches, where usually the church owns the property, and they get the church or religious exemption, and that takes care of it. Though there are different, the church exemption has to be filed every year, or they lose it. The religious, you file it one time and you keep it. But my main concern with the churches has more to do with if they're a landlord. I mean, they're the tenant. In other words, say they don't own the property. And maybe, like I had it happen, that's how I know. I was the owner of a piece of property, and the church approached me to use it as a for little kids for a daycare, and so in that instance they were not the owner of the property, but they still are allowed to get the exemption, and this is how. We both sign what is a landlord-tenant exemption form, and they what happens? It's granted. The exemption is granted to me as the owner, but I have to lower their rent by that amount, and that way it's passed on to the church.
Oh, that's good.
That's good. Well, Donald, you are always good at helping people save taxes as a former tax assessor for San Bernardino County. And then, of course, your son is the appraising supervisor for Riverside County. You know a lot about taxes, so that's why we bring you on here, and we have the Donald Williamson Taxsaver and more. But this program is also about community, right?
Yes.
And what's going on in the world of Kiwanis land these days?
Well, thanks for bringing that up. Next week, Thursday evening, we'll be heading to our convention, Caldeva District Convention, in Las Vegas. It happens to be in the JW Marriott, and I've got a timeshare. In fact, I got 3. I couldn't get a 2-bedroom; it was too late, so I took 2 1-bedrooms. And I happen to have a 3rd one that I got first, and that may go unlived in. But I did the other 2. I got hopefully side by side to make up my 2-bedroom. But we're going there, and
So what goes on at the convention?
well, we I'm glad you asked that question, because we vote on things, just like
They wear
churches.
funny hats, and they have fun too.
Oh yeah, well I like. One of the things I enjoy the most is the hospitality hour in the evenings. Anyone running for either president or what's the other one? It'll come to me. But anyway.
Well, that's fun. It sounds fun.
See,
Sounds
international
fun.
calls it one thing, and then I
Kiwanis
think
Club.
president is the district. But
And
anyway,
full disclaimer, I'm a
and
Kiwanis.
anyone running for president, they have hospitality rooms.
I'm a
And
former
You can get off
Kiwanian.
the elevator, and you can hear it way down the hall. And they come in the evening after everything's over, and you have sodas.
Well, Don, I have somebody waiting on the phone. I don't want to keep them waiting too much, and I'm
Let's
sure
put
that
'em on.
we've all been to the Fred Flintstone Grand Poobah, conventions and Kiwanis and Optimists.
They're fun.
Optimists, and they're fun.
Rotary.
They're interesting. It's great for networking, and you guys raise a whole lot of money for very charitable things. And speaking of charities, today we have the honor of having Brandy Weber with the Boys and Girls Club of Redlands and Riverside. Hello, Brandy.
Hi there. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Yes, and thanks to Ms. Carter for helping arrange that as well, Andrea Carter. And I'm told that you know Lillian as well here.
Brandy, I do believe we've met at some different luncheons or events. Either way, I'm very familiar with the Boys and Girls Club. Actually, the facility there in Redlands, which is a lovely ground for, it's been there many years. But you do so many wonderful things, both in the Redlands community and in Riverside. And Mark says you have something going on that's coming up.
Yeah, let me say, the Boys and Girls Club, is that in Redlands, on the corner of Lagonia and Orange? Is that, am I mistaken?
Lagonia and Clay Street.
Clay.
Okay, and Clay Street. Okay, I was just a little bit
Yeah.
off, but yeah. I've been there before, and it's actually a nice little
wonderful.
facility. Nice little facility.
You're remembering the senior center.
Yeah, the senior center is just across the street. There is a center there as well.
So, Brandy, what is your position at the Boys and Girls Club?
Yes, absolutely. So I am the Director of Community Impact here at Boys and Girls Clubs. I oversee our Community Impact Department, and I am just beyond thrilled to share some really wonderful things that we have coming up, actually in the next few days, and then just give you some wonderful updates about our club and what we're looking to do in the near future for the new school year.
And for the new school year, back to school. Here we are, not
Yes.
even starting August yet. And school starts around the end of August, 1st of September. Is that right? Or?
Early
So
August.
actually,
You're
yeah.
aging yourself, Mark. Back in the day, school started in September, the
Yeah.
second week. Now it's in August.
Okay.
It's true. I miss those days. I remember it was September, but yes, school's going to actually start next Thursday. So we are doing our annual Kohl's Back to School shopping event this Saturday to get all of our incredible club kids ready for their new school year.
And how does the shopping event work? Who's entitled to it?
Absolutely. So what we do is we send out a entrance and, an interest form to all of our wonderful members here. Typically, we serve our kiddos here at the Hansberger Clubhouse, all of our housing sites, as well as our Community Settlement Association. Community Settlement Association, we actually partner with them, and they're in Riverside. So what's wonderful is we're actually serving youth from Redlands and Riverside for our Kohl's Back to School shopping event. So we actually hold it at two different Kohl's. In Redlands, we hold it at the Kohl's in the Citrus Plaza, and in Riverside, we hold it at the Kohl's across from the Tyler Mall. So we're really excited to provide this year 147 of our club kids with a $200 gift card to go back to school shopping. And what's wonderful is this is the largest event that we have been holding to date. So we're reaching the most amount of youth that we ever have, and we're incredibly excited about it.
And so do you do the shopping with them, or the parents get the card and the parents take them shopping?
Great question. Actually, what we do is we do a big call for volunteers, and we have quite a few wonderful volunteers from different community organizations, just individuals who are interested in volunteering. We have some of our wonderful team members, as well as some of our major donors for the event. They come out, and each one of our youth shoppers is paired with a volunteer. They head into Kohl's for a personalized shopping experience. So it's really fun. It feels a bit exclusive, which is great. Kohl's opens their doors early just for us from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., so before they're open to the general public.
So you got to get up early for this one, kids, right?
Oh, yes. I definitely get up very early, and we also ask all of our wonderful families to get up early, too. But I'll tell you what, it is the best 2 hours you can spend. Our youth, our families, our team members, all of our community partners leave there just with a whole heart and a big smile. It's a great 2 hours, the best 2 hours you could spend.
So volunteers are really important to any nonprofit, and it sounds like they would be very important to yours as well. So do you already have these volunteers lined up? Because that's a lot of shoppers.
It certainly is. So thank you. And I will absolutely give you a shameless plug. We do currently have volunteers, but we are absolutely looking for more. And anyone who is interested in volunteering can go to our main website, which is begreatie.org. And there will be a link there you can click. It will say if you're interested in volunteering for our Kohl's Back to School shopping event, and we would be more than happy to welcome any additional volunteers for this year's event.
So the kids have already been picked already and applied and approved. So it's not like you could just show up at Kohl's and get a $200 shopping spree. I just wanted our listeners to understand that.
Yes,
right.
And I appreciate you sharing that because it sounds wonderful, but absolutely what we do is it's a completely closed event specific to our Boys and Girls Clubs members, and this year we have filled every spot, so this is an exclusive shopping event in partnership with Kohl's. So yes, if someone was to show up to Kohl's, we would be happy to say hello and explain how everything works, but all of our spaces are full right now.
And do you vet your volunteers when they're shopping, or how do you work that process?
That is a fantastic question. Absolutely, we do. So we do require something called a Raptor screening, which is the same soft background screening that all of the school districts do. So we simply ask them basic information. So we do a quick background screening just to make sure that all our volunteers are qualified to work with youth, to make sure that everyone is safe, our parents feel comfortable, our team members feel comfortable, and we just set up a wonderful experience for our club kids.
You know, I'm a part of the Assistance League, and we have a similar thing here in San Bernardino. And there's nothing more gratifying than when you're able to take a young person shopping, and they get to get what they want and they'll like, or they'll fit them right now. They're hand-me-downs from their older brothers or siblings. They get new clothes, and that's just a great feeling to go to school on that first day wearing wearing a new getup, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And it's really interesting that you mentioned something about hand-me-downs and maybe having to take over brother or sister's old clothes. And what's interesting is I have just a really quick real life story to share with you that was very touching. And I've been with Boys and Girls Clubs now for almost 3 years, so this is going to be my third Kohl's event. And at the second Kohl's event that I was at, I actually had a mama come up and share with me that this was actually the first time that her and her children had ever shopped at a department store. And they typically would thrift, and she would hem the clothing of her children to put her other kiddos in those clothes to last the school year. So this is an incredibly meaning event to so many of our families, and we're so excited to be able to provide that to them. It's truly life-changing for some.
It is. Now, I love thrifting, so there's nothing wrong with thrifting. I love doing that. But it's just such a nice feeling when it's the first time worn and you get to wear them to school, whether it's the tennies or their shirts or their dresses or whatever it is they're wearing. It's such a good feeling. I wanted to ask, to do this, it takes money. Kohl's isn't donating all the money. They are opening the doors early, making it accommodating for you guys. But how does the fundraise go on that you're able to do and clothe or have that many participants?
Absolutely. So we have some incredible steadfast partners that have been with us for years and years and years. The main bulk of our money always comes from our Kiwanis Club of Redlands.
Hey, Kiwanis.
Yes, Kiwanians. I love our Kiwanians. Kiwanis Club of Redlands, Kiwanis Club of San Bernardino, as well as our Redlands Elks Lodge. And, of course, we have many additional donors. We have individual givers. But, of course, it always comes back to wonderful people who are willing to put their money where their mouth is and support our youth for this incredible endeavor. So a big shout out to our wonderful, wonderful steadfast partners. Kiwanians, we love you. Redlands Elks, we love you. And to all of our donors and partners, it really does take all of us, and we are thankful for every dollar we get because every dollar goes to those gift cards. And that's another thing to share here at Boys and Girls Clubs. All of the money that we get when we raise it goes to 100% of what we're asking. So every single dollar that we raise is going to those $200 gift cards for our youth.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, very good. And, there's so much more to talk about the Boys and Girls Club than just this backpack giveaway, which is going to take place August 2nd at the Citrus Plaza Kohl's and also at the Kohl's on Tyler. And, of course, all those spaces, the 147 spaces have been taken up. But, thanks to everybody at Kohl's and thanks to everybody. I want you to stick around. We'll talk a little bit more about the Boys and Girls Club if you don't mind.
I would be thrilled.
We have to go to a break right now, and we will do so. We'll be back with Lillian. We're going to have a little conversation with her, too.
Yes, I'm happy to stick around.
And also Donald Williamson, who's sitting over there kicking back, relaxing, enjoying the conversation. It's so pleasant, so nice. Such a positive thing, and we're so glad to have you.
I really perked up when you mentioned Kiwanis.
I knew you would.
Governor, I was past president 7 times, and I'm more familiar with San Bernardino's Boys and Girls Club because we actually collected items that they needed and took it to them.
Oh, nice.
All righty then. We'll be back right after this on KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5, the stations that leave no listener behind.
KCAA Loma Linda. The Legacy KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM.
Community Matters. In partnership with the San Bernardino County Museum, the Inland Empire Latino Art Association is calling for artist submissions for their Hispanic Heritage Month exhibit, Expectations, A Better World Through Art, Music, and Respect. Rudy Ramirez, chairman of the Latino Art Association, on how they got started.
Actually, we got started around 1985 at the house of Dr. Tom and Lily Rivera. They had invited a bunch of Latino artists to exhibit the artwork at the house. From then on, it took off because a lot of us enjoyed what we did. So then we got together and formed a group. And Dr. Tom Rivera originally gave us the name of the Inland Empire Latino Art Association.
Museum Curator of Art and Exhibits, Dr. Casey Lee, shares her plans for this upcoming exhibit.
For this show, it sounds like it's incredibly popular. It's only been 1 month long in previous iterations, so I've extended the show out so that way there's really time for people to enjoy and reflect on what the talents of our community has, and also build out more robust programming, so thinking about artist workshops. We will be having an arts festival around the same time in November. It's going to be the weekend after Dia de los Muertos, so it's going to be a reflection also on Hispanic culture, and it's going to be looking at local talents. It's going to be bringing in other community partners and making sure that we're really recognizing the communities that are here.
Again, Rudy Ramirez and his goal for the exhibit.
Well, we're interested in meeting other artists and working and painting with other artists and sharing and exchanging ideas and opinions concerning art and exhibiting and selling our artwork.
Artists of all backgrounds residing in San Bernardino County and surrounding regions are encouraged to submit for this exhibition, Expectations, A Better World Through Art, Music, and Respect. Guidelines and entry form available at the San Bernardino County Museum website at museum.sbcounty.gov. For Community Matters, I'm Lillian Vasquez.
One of the best ways to build a healthier local economy is by shopping locally. Teamster Advantage is a shop local program started by Teamster Local 1932 that has brought together hundreds of locally owned businesses to provide discounts for residents who make shopping locally their priority. Everything from restaurants like Corky's to fun times at SB Raceway and much, much more. If you're not currently a Teamster and you want access to these local business discounts, contact Jennifer at 909-889-8377, extension 224. Give her a call. That number again is 909-889-8377, extension 224.
This is KCAA.
Yeah, there I go. I always love how you wait till I start talking and then turn the mic on. Okay, KCAA, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. Mark Westwood in the zoo here, called KCAA, and happy to be here. Actually, love my job. Sitting here with Lillian Vasquez, my esteemed news person here at KCAA and KQLH and KFXM and everywhere else. And then also Donald Williamson. A privilege and honor always to sit next to Donald and to hear his stories and his experience and gain knowledge from him. He's a very knowledgeable person, especially when it comes to the area of taxes and saving taxes. That's why we call the show the Donald Williamson Taxpayer Saver and More Show. And, of course, the lovely Eric Osorio in the in the control room. I get goofy when I get tired, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm kind of tired. I will tell you right now, tomorrow is the preview of something very, very interesting here around these parts. Like I said, I mentioned several radio stations and actually manage 5 transmitters and now another internet streaming radio station for the Teamsters Local 1932 will debut tomorrow. With all kinds of stuff on it about unions and information about community and stuff like that.
Yay! 1932 Teamsters.
Yay! And but I've been working real hard on that. And whenever you want to go to a new level, you got to work a little harder. You got to work a little faster. You got to pedal a little faster. That's what I've been doing. So I apologize if I'm a little bit out of it and kind of not on top of things. But I've had 3 phone calls while I was on the air. 2 texts and 2 people peeking in the door to see me, and doing this show though. And we've been speaking, by the way, with Brandy Weber from the Boys and Girls Club of Redlands, Riverside, and I love this organization. It's a very esteemed organization. She's been telling us about this fantastic thing that's going to go on. They arrange it every year. It's an annual event, and it's the Kohl's Backpack $200 giveaway. And that's going to take place this Saturday. All the positions are taken, but wow, it's a big effort on their part, Brandy, and thank you for doing that.
Oh, absolutely. I'm genuinely thrilled. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really enjoying sharing a bit about what we do.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the things that you do, because you really do so many and serve so many children at the facility there. It's Hansberger's, right?
Yes, I'm located at the Hansberger Clubhouse. That's we call it our main clubhouse in Redlands, but we actually serve, and we're going to be serving as of the new school year, between 12 and 13,000 youth.
So is that
really
facility?
incredible.
Is that in Riverside, or are you going to stay in Redlands with that?
So that's actually a combination of Redlands and Riverside. We actually were able to this year partner with the Riverside School District to actually eradicate our wait list of 4,000 youth. So now we have an additional 4,000 youth that we're able to provide a safe space to go, a place to assist with their education, get their homework done, be safe, have healthy foods and snacks. And we're really, really excited to go from serving 8,000 youth to between 12 and 13,000.
So it's an after-school program, right?
Yes, absolutely. So we are an after-school program. We offer, after-school tutoring, homework help. We have different core educational programs, academic support, wellness programming, and we are just beyond thrilled to have our parents trust us to take care of their youth while they're at work, taking care of things that they need to handle, and knowing that we are there to take care of their kiddos every day.
What children or families are eligible to participate or be involved in the after-school program?
Absolutely. Any child who is interested in joining our program is more than welcome to. Anyone who is interested in becoming a club kid can absolutely go to our website at begreatie.org for more information. Again, like I had mentioned,
thegreatie.org. Thegreatie.org.
Yes, begreatie.org. Absolutely. There's lots of information on there. You can absolutely sign up to be a club kid. And what's really wonderful about our website is it shares all of the wonderful and unique things that we're doing, all of the programming that we offer, and all of the community-based programs that we offer as well, which includes a family strengthening program where we provide weekly bags of food mitigating items for our families. We do 100 bags a week for our families and our youth.
Wow, that's a lot. 100 bags a week.
It's a lot.
Wow,
yes, and
incredible.
actually, we're very excited. We're looking to eradicate a wait list in regards to our food distribution program as well. So we're aiming to support 200 families this year. We're very, very dedicated. Our CEO, Michael Wells, is passionate about making sure that food insecurity is something that our families do not have to worry and focus on, because as we know, nutrition in general, it leads to our mental capabilities, our psychological health, and of course, it goes right on back to ensuring that our kids are prepared for education and for learning to prepare them for a future.
So what is the age range of somebody who's qualified to be in the Boys and Girls Club?
Absolutely. So we actually, we welcome TK, so we call them our littles, 3.5 years old all the way up until 17. So we do the whole gamut of TK all the way up through high school.
Wow.
That is very cool. What happens when they're 17? Do they get like a graduation ceremony or?
Actually, that's a really wonderful question. We do something called Youth of the Year every year, which is really wonderful. And these are kiddos that range in age, but we do an annual ceremony where we invite parents and families just to celebrate the kids and all of their accomplishments. And then, of course, for our tweens and teens, we really try to hone in and, make the day fun, make the club fun, because as you know, when you're a little or a TK or a second and third grader, it's fun to come and get your homework done and read books and enjoy yourself and do art. But we're really focusing in this year on engaging our teens and tweens. We're looking to do an esports room. We're looking to partner with San Manuel and Garner Holt to do a very special space for our teens and build it out just so it makes it more comfortable for them as well. We want to be fun and cool place to be rather than just going and hanging out at home. So we're really focusing in on that.
Well, those are some good partners for sure. I've had the wonderful opportunity to MC some of your events, and one of your events that I MC'd was, I don't know if you're still doing it, was the Chocolate Fantasy.
Oh, yes.
So can you share a little bit what the Chocolate Fantasy is and when it's coming up?
Absolutely. Yes, Chocolate Fantasy is our annual gala every year. This year we're going back to our roots, and we're calling it our Chocolate and Champagne Fantasy Gala. I had learned that before I came here 3 years ago. It all started as a Valentine's get-together.
Right.
So this year's Chocolate Fantasy is going to be held in January. We're going to be sending out some wonderful save the dates, and we're going to be posting that on our website. In fact, it might already be on our website.
And where will it be held this year?
We're going to be at the Mitten Building
You're
here
going
in
back
Redlands.
to the Mitten Building. Great.
Yes, it's a wonderful building, very nostalgic. A lot of our local donors absolutely love it, but we're also looking for other ways to engage our donors. So potentially people from out of state, we're looking for a way for them to be able to come in and potentially be able to attend virtually as well, just to support our youth in different ways. So even if you can't be there in person, we'd love to have you either way. So please, again, go to our website at begreatie.org for more information.
So for those who have maybe never attended, I'm not sure how the virtual people get to taste the chocolates there, but maybe the idea of it has changed a little bit. It was always a chocolate fantasy, and there were so many different chocolates,
But
desserts.
you don't have very many calories at a virtual
No,
chocolate.
it's all diet-free. It's all low-calorie and diet-free.
That may be a plus.
Brandy, share a little bit of the actual event itself.
Absolutely. So our gala itself, we invite all our wonderful donors. Anyone is welcome. We typically provide sponsorship opportunities. So we have a presenting sponsor and then sponsorships that run the gamut for different businesses, individuals. But basically, it's an evening to come, learn about all of the wonderful things that we do. We have wonderful things that we auction off for fun. We have different trips. We have experiences. We're going to have wonderful dancing, amazing food, delicious chocolate, and it's just a way to get dressed up, come and have a date night, come enjoy yourselves, learn about Boys and Girls Club.
Want to go, Lillian?
And just
I've
give back
been to
the
it several
community.
times.
You
I've been to
emptied
it several times.
It is a blast. Yes,
Anything
we're
with
really
chocolate.
looking forward.
Yeah, I usually take advantage of the angel tickets.
So
been
how
lucky.
does someone
Yes.
get tickets? On the website for this, or how do they do that?
Absolutely. So you can go on our website again at begreatie.org, and there will be a section for our Chocolate, Champagne, and Fantasy Gala. You can definitely click on there and look at all of our opportunities. But absolutely, individuals are welcome to simply buy tickets. You can buy a ticket for yourself, a friend, a spouse, and you can absolutely come and just enjoy yourself. Again, learn about Boys and Girls Clubs and hopefully bid on some items. Of course, all of the proceeds go 100% to our Boys and Girls Clubs and our club youth.
The Great IE, what was the website?
Yes,
begreatie.org.
TheGreatIE.org. Okay. well,
Absolutely.
all right. Nothing with boys and girls in there, but it says thegreatie.org, and that's a great way to remember it. And you can Google that as well, I imagine, just Boys and Girls Club.
Absolutely.
And it will take you right there. Some great events, some great things you're doing. Brandy, it's been a privilege and honor. We've been speaking with Brandy Weber, who is the Director of Community Relations. Is that correct? Did I get the right title there?
I am the Director of Community Impact, but that is perfectly fine. I am thrilled to have spoken with you today. And if I could just really quickly, I just want to make sure I get this out to you within 30 seconds. We also have our museum takeover coming up on Monday, the 4th, and that is going to be held at the San Bernardino County Museum for a hands-on learning and fun day for our kiddos. They're going to have an ice cream social, and then they have a surprise when they come back to the clubhouse. They're going to get backpacks full of supplies as well. So this weekend and Monday, full circle, back-to-school shopping, lots of school supplies, brand new backpack just to get our kiddos prepared for the school year.
The San Bernardino County Museum, I was actually just did a story on it and toured it yesterday. And there's so much new stuff going on there. So I'm so glad that your kiddos will be able to experience that museum, maybe some of them for the very first time. So thanks for all that you do for the community.
Oh, thank you so much. And also thank you so much to San Bernardino County Museum. They actually donated over 100 annual museum passes for our youth and families. So they'll be able to go all year long and explore all the wonderful things that the museum has to offer.
And before we go here, Donald Williamson says, hey, I have something to say here. So
Okay.
turn on your microphone.
Brandy.
Is it? Oh, get up next to it. Then.
Maybe I wasn't speaking on it but a while ago.
Okay.
Anyway, Brandy,
Yes.
in case you need lots of food to give away,
Oh,
we have a member in our Rialto Kiwanis Club
okay.
who happens to be in charge of the distribution of food for the Rock Church. And they deliver all the way from Barstow to Temecula and a lot of places in between. Now, if you need food, they deliver by the semis.
My
By
friend,
trucks,
we
by
need
trucks.
food, and we would be absolutely thrilled. I would absolutely love to talk with you off the air to get some more information.
I
Thank you
will
so
help
much. I
you get in
appreciate
touch
that.
with Columbus, and he can put you in touch
wonderful.
with the right people to
Oh,
get
that's
you on the list.
fantastic.
And but they give lots by truckloads.
Wow.
They get them
Oh,
by
that's
truckloads and they
wonderful.
give it away by truckloads.
Look at this radio show where
Yeah.
they make things
This
happen.
is great. Yes, we're collaborating.
So give us a
Oh,
call at 909-383-1065, or you can email me or have Ms.
Great.
Carter email me, and
Yes.
we will make that happen.
Make that
And
connection.
then,
Thank you,
my
Donald.
friends, may I say one more thing? And I apologize. I just want to make sure I give a huge shout out to SoCal Gas, who is actually donating all of our backpacks and assisting with our museum takeover. So I wanted to make sure and give a special shout out because truly, without our donors, we simply wouldn't be able to do what we do here. So again,
Amazing
I just wanted
things.
to say on behalf of our CEO, Michael Wells, and our senior leadership and our entire Boys and Girls Clubs team, thank you so much for the opportunity today to share the incredible work we're doing. We're so thrilled to be a part of the youth and families' lives here in the Inland Empire. So appreciate you, Mark, Donald, and Lily. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank
I
you
got to
so
say
much.
one thing about the Redlands Kiwanis Club. It's one of our best, and they like lots of us give out scholarships to kids, needy kids, and we've also done what you're doing. We did it back when Mervin's was open, taking kids
Oh
there.
my gosh, no,
And then when
that's
Burlington,
fantastic.
over in Redlands at Burlington, we took kids there to get like you're doing. And
Great.
so we each Kiwanis Club does different things. Some of the same, some of different. And Ronald McDonald House and all kinds of things.
Yes.
And
Wonderful.
but God bless you for your work.
Oh,
That's what we
thank
need
you
is
so much.
more
It's an
people
honor.
with more people with good hearts like Brandy
You'd
and
make a good
Don.
Kiwanian.
Yeah. All right, Don. I'm gonna
I
reel you
am
in
a
here.
Kiwanian. I am a Kiwanian of San Bernardino.
See,
I
there you
am.
go.
I'm very proud.
Oh, you are? That's
Yes.
a good. We've got two. Which one?
Actually, you've got three.
The noon or morning?
I do the noon.
The noon. Oh, that's a great club. Great club.
Yeah. Yes.
So I can't already get you in it. You're already in it.
You've already got me, my friend. I'm happy to be there. Thank you so much.
And I'm a member of the Friendship Global Kiwanis Club as well. So there's
Yes,
Kiwanians
he is.
all over the place.
I'm
here.
Assistance League, so sorry.
but
Brandy,
that's
it
a
was
good thing.
great speaking with you. I wish you the
Oh,
best in this upcoming shopping, and I know you're going to put a lot of smiles on a lot of kids' faces. So thanks for all you do.
Thank you,
Thank
Brandy.
you so much. Thank you all.
Thank you, Brandy. I'll look
Take
you up
care.
my directory. Kiwanis directory.
There you go. Thanks very much, Brandy Weber, Director of Community Impact from the Boys and Girls Club of Redlands and Riverside. And there's Boys and Girls Clubs everywhere. And if you have a young boy or girl, preschool now, all the way
Yeah.
up to the age of 17. Great things to get them involved with, community activities, recreation, also after school workshops, and good mentoring.
You know what it's really important too is for young families that just don't have the money sometimes to pay and put them in places, or they have to get to work. The Boys and Girls Club usually you can start early, drop them off, and they get them to school at some of the Boys and Girls Club, and that just makes it more workable for working parents. So they're. It's a great organization. Many celebrities, Denzel Washington and J-Lo, were all students or kids that participated. So they definitely give back. It's just a worthy organization.
It's a time-honored organization. It's been around forever. And a day that I can remember
Longer
I've been
than you,
around.
Mark.
Yeah, longer than me, and that's something. I never used to say that. I've always felt like I was kind of young, and all of a sudden now people are telling me I'm old. But anyway, that hurts. But, we're going to move on to another subject. And
I
I
didn't
invited
say
you.
old. I just said longer than you.
Yeah, longer than me, yeah. Implied. Anyway, we wanted to bring you in, Lillian, and also talk. And now we only have about 10 minutes because this was such a good, worthy topic. And we were going to talk to you about various things. But, I want to talk to you about something very personal. You are a mother, and you are a mother of a child with autism.
Yes, my son is 32, so I'm a mother. But sometimes when we say children, people automatically think young, and one of the
we're all God's children. But
yes, but there's
figuratively.
it's changes after they're 18 and they're not in school anymore, and so I'm always on I'm advocating for the young adults that are on the spectrum. So go ahead. I interrupted what you were going to say.
Not at all. Not at all. This is very good information. And I'm here to learn a little bit, just like our listeners, as we're talking with Lillian Vasquez, who works on our news staff here at KCAA, and we're very grateful to have you. So you have an autistic son, and that's a challenge in this life. But, I don't really fully understand. Autism is like they call the spectrum.
Right.
And I know that in a spectrum, there's greater or lesser. And, some people are more severely autistic and some aren't. But first of all, for our listeners who are like me, I've been around some autistic people, but I don't understand it. Can you define what autism really is?
So it's very common to say that if you've met one autistic person, you've met one autistic person, because they're all very different. There are similar characteristics. Some may be verbal, some may be nonverbal, some may be what we used to call high functioning, some may be Asperger's. So it is a spectrum, and that's why they say it. And they changed the DSM-5 so that even more, which is what they use for the diagnosis. And now there's many people that are on the spectrum. The ratio here in California is 1 in 19 is now being diagnosed with autism. When I first came into this world, it was 1 in 10,000.
1 in 10,000, now it's 1 in 19. Why is
Yes.
it lowered so much?
So knew that question would be coming, and the answer is we don't know. Some say it's better diagnosis. Some say the DSM-5 kind of opening up its spectrum brought in more people on the spectrum from ADHD all the way to Asperger's. So it's hard to tell, but we do know there's a lot of families out there here in the Inland Empire that have children and young adults and adults with autism. And my job, I sit on the board of directors for the Autism Society, is just trying to make it easier for these families and individuals that live here in our community.
Right. And like you said, there are some that are very high functioning. Maybe people are diagnosed in their later years.
Right. And some people, this is a newer thing, that are just finding out they are autistic. And what it does for them is lets them know, oh, that's why I do some of what some people might say bizarre or odd or, that's why I do that. That makes sense now. And I think sometimes when people learn later in life that they are on the spectrum, it makes sense for them. It makes sense why they couldn't keep a job, why they might have been socially awkward, why they don't understand interpersonal space, or why they're very literal. And humor is sometimes a little challenging, because if you say, oh, look, it's raining cats and dogs, and they might look up and look for the cats and dogs. I mean, it's a very, that's pretty obvious. But the idea is that they're very literal. One of the things that I know we only have a short time that I really want to talk about is my passion is employment for once they age out of high school, and law enforcement. And just here in the San Bernardino County Sheriff's has just undertaken the Blue Envelope Project. And more police departments are starting to carry this Blue Envelope Project. I was at a conference today and talking about that, learning about that, and trying to understand. And really what it is it's literally a blue envelope that's in your car that you can show to if you were to get pulled over, and hopefully getting the officers trained that they see that blue envelope that heightens them to know that, okay, there's something different with this call. with this driver or with this person, because individuals on the spectrum, they drive as well.
Some can drive. They're very fairly
right.
functional.
Go to
yeah.
college. You might see many people on the spectrum that are mathematicians. They may be lawyers. They may be professors, because they have great minds and can do a lot of things. That's the Asperger probably person, and then you have the other end that needs more help and needs more guidance. And so when let's say an individual is driving and gets pulled over, the anxiety that they may go through with the lights blaring or the siren going, and their anxiety goes into flight response, and they can't talk, or they just panic. And so this Blue Envelope Project is supposed to try and help some of that, maybe curb some of the anxiety for both the officer and the driver, so that they can keep it a calm call rather than going into what we often see or can see being a bad situation.
Well, as a mother of someone who's autistic, I can tell you're very passionate about that. I'm sure you're very active too.
I am very active, and I'm very vocal.
Very vocal.
Can you tell?
Yeah, so you're an activist in support of people with autism, be it they're high functioning or Asperger's, which is a whole nother thing, which is a physical part of it, right?
No, Asperger's just means that they're highest level thinkers. They probably can do everything, but they just may have some little quirks or kinks or oddness to them.
Gee, we could all be defined that way, I think.
It's true. It's true. I've learned about
Everybody's
myself.
looking at me. Why are you looking at me, everybody?
I've learned more about myself since coming into the autism world. It's like, I do that. I do that. We do our own little things. Like girls sometimes would twist their long hair, and they twist, and it's because they're thinking, or we may tap our feet, or we may bite our nails. Those are things that we do that are socially acceptable, and they may do things that are a little more jarring sometimes. But it's how they're coping with the situation that they're in.
Yeah, it's a coping thing. And I've seen a young boy who just was almost non-functional as an autistic young kid. He just sat there and just kind of almost was non-functional. That was really tough on the mother. I worked with her, and he would be in the break room, every once in a while he would make a noise or something, but that was about all he would do. And then you have people that are almost uncontrollable. I mean, it takes a lot of energy to contain them, I think.
That there is the different levels. And when my son Grant was first diagnosed, I diagnosed him at 15 months. The doctors aren't as bright as I am, and they took him 2 years. So that's okay. The neurologist did get it and did diagnose Grant as autistic. I'm joking about that. I'm smarter than any doctor, because I'm certainly not. It was just
But you did learn a lot.
It was a mother's instinct that just said something is different here.
People who deal in medical situations or situations like you oftentimes have information that some doctors don't have, because you're collecting from this doctor, this doctor, this doctor. I'm sure you've seen more than one doctor over your life, and you get their knowledge as well. And so collectively, you might be.
It's really funny you should say that, because I had worked in the television industry for many years and had the opportunity to do a lot of documentaries on the subject. And I remember the first one I did, I then shared it with the team of doctors at Loma Linda University, and they said, can you send me 5 more, because I know we don't know about this stuff. We only make the diagnosis and then don't know what to do. So I was educating them on the different therapies and modalities and services that are out there that our families need.
So you're somebody who may be thinking you might have an autistic child or something like that. Is there a website you can go to or some sort of support?
One of the best resources here in the Inland Empire is the Autism Society, and their website is ieautism.org. There is a plethora of information. When Grant was first diagnosed, there was nothing out there. 30 years later, I'm glad to say that there is stuff. And for that family that's just getting that diagnosis and just went, oh man, I didn't know what autism was, what do I do now? I highly recommend you go to the Autism Society, ieautism.org, and learn for your child and become that child's advocate and your own advocate. Unless you're wealthy, then you don't need financial services, because to be an Inland Regional Center client, your child is going to get services, and it's not going to come out of your pocket, but they're there to support us. So ieautism.org has a wonderful plethora, as I said, of information.
Yes, and you are a wonderful plethora of information too, Lillian Vasquez, our news person. We appreciate you. And Don Williamson, quickly, you have some guests coming up next show.
Well, I do, but this is so important here. I think I'm going to talk.
We only have a minute, so
You only have a minute?
yeah.
Fontana, many years back at Fontana High School, Kiwanis, our Rialto one joined with the Fontana Club. And out at Fohi, they had, and annually, they had a little track meet out there. And they had,
There's lots of
it was
activities.
for the autism.
That's
children.
great.
Nice.
And
Thank you,
I bet
Donald.
whether
We
they
have to
came in
cut
first
away
or last,
now.
they
We
enjoyed
have to
it.
cut away, but I'm sorry to interrupt you. We'll have you back next time, Matt Damon. It's a joke from Jimmy Fallon
That's
Show.
funny.
Okay, Don. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lillian. Thank you, Eric. Thank you to Brandy Weber. And it has been a great show once again that you make possible every week, Don, and we appreciate you.
I'm glad to.
KTA 1050 AM 106.5 FM. This is the Donald Williamson Taxsaver and more. We'll be back next Thursday right here at the same bat channel, same bat place. Take it away.